Hi, everybody, and welcome to the newest installment of Weed and Wrestling Podcast. I am Laniya, and that is
Rebel Professor Ryan Martin Lash, the eccentric enigma.
and on this episode we're gonna be going over the April 25th, 2025 episode of Smackdown. And yeah, let him take that.
Yeah, we got
Dang.
coming out of Fort Worth, Texas. And we start out the night with John Cena and Randy Orton promo.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, much better than what John did on Monday. John insists on being called the greatest of all time, the last real champion. And Randy takes forever to get to the ring as usual. Yep, and how they've known each other for 25 years, and John has never changed his mantra. And how John Cena has the most Make-A-Wish visits ever, and it must mean something to him. And then he goes into there's a void in John, and that it must be fulfilled by children. And then John comes back with saying, "How dare you parent shame me?" And John's been raising everyone else's kids for 25 years. Then he finds some kid, your dad's a loser, and the 6-year-old kid just gave me the finger.
Okay, first of all, if he's been raising, if he was raising the last 25 years, that's why the kids are so fucked up. 1, 2, why does he think anybody cared about him? Like, he's all bitching, people have been making fun of him for years. Sweetheart, we never liked you. And that's a great way of playing on it, but we don't like you.
Yeah.
You didn't become a heel and we're like, yay, we love you now. No, sweetheart, we don't like you still.
Yeah. Really, it's just double down on it.
Yeah, it's just like, yay, now I'm an adult and I don't like you. Yeah, I was a teenager before and I didn't like you.
Yep. And yeah, from there, the fans and WWE is the reason that John's actually here. That's what Randy tells him, and that the way he's acting as he's just a guest. Then John says, "I won everything and never needed that." And they will chant, "Let's go Cena," and Cena sucks in the same breath.
But here's the thing, though. All he needed was creative. He really didn't need us. He's right.
Right?
And we're not saying it in the same breath. Some of us are saying Cena sucks, and some of us saying something different. It's just you can only hear the Cena sucks mostly for over 20 years. That's what you get for raising horrible kids. I'm gonna tell you.
Yep. And then he goes on his usual thing of, "I've been in a manipulative relationship," and how some guy, the only thing he's done has dressed like Jack Black. And Randy goes on and says wrestling has given Randy everything, and you won't ruin wrestling. And then John says that when he goes and he takes the title with him, that Randy is going to be frozen at 14, and that they're going to create a new tin belt, and you'll start back at 1. And 3 generations of Ortons will be erased. And then it sets up there for the at Backlash. There will be a title match in St. Louis, because Randy wanted to fight then, but no, he deserves it. Which I like. I like when John gets like a little sincere like that, being like, "It will not happen tonight, Randy. No, it will happen in St. Louis. You deserve it."
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, what?
I was I'm trying to think of the way to phrase what I'm saying. Their exchanges are very good for the ring because you can tell there's a lot of being sincerity in it, and I like it.
Yeah,
I think though, and Randy Orton could be doing this with anyone from his time, and I feel the same because Randy Orton. It's not because Cena.
yeah, yeah. Um, and with this match coming up, like it's cool and sad for. The cool part is that for the first time in like however many years, um, we'll get Randy Orton versus John Cena. Um, but it's sad too because we know Randy's not gonna fucking win.
As long as it get RKO'd a few times, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, and that's and that's the thing. He deserves, if anything, yeah, because they're gonna pivot some way to where Cody probably is the one that gets it back.
Because Cody's gonna turn heel probably. Please soon, please, please.
Doubt that. I I doubt that because he seems to be the last remaining babyface.
And that's why we need him to be a heel for real. Like everybody else turn back face and he be a heel because this wasn't necessary. This is how we do it, god damn it.
Mm-hmm. But I gave the spot an 8.
Yeah, I gave it 8 also. I think it was pretty solid. And again, there's that sincerity in there that I really truly enjoyed. So
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Next, we get Fraxium versus Legado del Fantasma, which apparently is Los Garza. I put that because I just forgot because they're so rarely used now that I
yeah. I
forget
was
their
reading it,
name.
I was like, Los Garza?
Yeah. Um. Yeah, we get some speed kicks, suicide dives, and then senton moonsault. Um, and then a cheap rope pull to Axiom. Then we get an ab break. Then we get a hot tag, super kick, and then a speed springboard moonsault, neck breaker, then a senton with another kick out. I mean, these guys just move fast as fuck.
They
It's
definitely do.
it's hard to take notes on them because they move so goddamn
They
fast.
do. And the super kicks be flying with the spinning stuff and
Yeah, um, which is a great thing. Especially if it's looking good. If you're moving fast and it's not looking good, that'd be one thing. But they were saying it right when they were coming out. These guys are faster than you would believe, and it's true.
they really, really were really were. And I'm
Yeah.
really happy about it.
Then we get a kick to moonsault, kick out. Then we get an MTY and then a moonsault, and that gets broken up. And then we get forearm trades to knees to an Ikzaguri headbutt, and then Izaguri and then a Spanish fly from the top, and then a Phoenix splash finish for Fraxium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave the match a 7.
I gave it an 8.
Yeah, yeah,
I gave it 8. It moved really fast and I love that. And they were very clean, not a lot of botchiness, not sloppy. That's what I look for. So
yeah,
yep.
yeah. They're which it's a good thing that um post WrestleMania here, you can see that that WWE is making sure to show off NXT talent because they know, like, okay, we need to bring some stuff in, because I enjoy this Fraxium team better than I enjoy Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, I mean, for 1,000 fucking reasons. What?
Yeah. Um.
And every time I see Motor City Machine Guns, I'm like, you're still here? You're still here? Like,
it's like they've only been on the roster for a few months, but like
I know.
they've taught it about how long that they've actually been around, and and the age shows with that team.
Yeah, and not just that, they're not exciting.
Yeah,
They're not, I mean, if they're exciting, we could just put everything else behind us, but they're just not exciting.
yeah,
There's nothing special, nothing indicative of like indicative of them being amazing. Just and why are they still there?
yep. But next up we get Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. This started out with a Tiffany promo. Tiffany says it's Tiffy time at WrestleMania, and that there's she doesn't want to be next to Charlotte Flair, and she proved that she wants to be the only one, Tiffany Stratton. Then Jade comes out and says Tiffany was impressive, but it's just a bigger target on her back. And they basically get to it and say, let's get it started.
Jade's outfit is amazing.
Yeah, whoever is her fucking fashion designer for all of her stuff needs a
All
raise.
of it, but especially that.
Yeah, she just looks better and better every week. Um, and that this goes with her in ring style too.
Yeah, very domineering yet still feminine and gorgeous and like Catwoman, but on a stripper pole.
I love the Catwoman appearance. Yeah. So from there, let's see, we get pretty standard lockup, and then a takedown, and we get an arm drag, and then some great moves to move pacing, and then we get a midair backbreaker, and then spine busters, a couple of them with some kickouts, and then roll up and spine buster kickouts, and then we get the gymnastics elbows, and then kickouts, and goes to an ab break. Then when we come back, we get the rolling senton, and then there's a botched moonsault, and that's
Yep, I was say she almost fell.
what's that?
And then she almost fell.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then it comes into a sit out power bomb. Then there's a kick out, and then we get the gymnastics elbow, and then we get a counter to basement drop kick, and then there's kick out. Then we get a wonderful superplex, and then Naomi comes in, and her character is so fucking stupid. Um,
It's not her character you dislike; it's her character's clothing you dislike.
and also I dislike her character too. I think the unhinged, I'm crazy. Like I think it's very forced, and
Uh,
I don't know.
did you see her newest like promo video she made with it was like a little ad and it had that Michael Jackson Thriller and it had cat eyes and her with a different tacky black and yellow outfit. I was like, we're going all the way through with this crap. I didn't see that. I'll tag you in it. I was looking at it earlier. It's horrendous, but it's just she's coming full circle with it. She's not gonna just abandon it. She's like, I'm gonna take this trash and go all the way through with it. Let's see how far I can take it.
Hmm.
I don't want her to at all. She should stop right now. Actually, she should stop like a couple weeks ago. But
Yeah.
here, let me find the video and send it to you because it made everything you just said so much better.
Yeah. Um, but I had noted, her character's so fucking stupid, and then I note, speaking of stupid, it's Nia Jax.
When she started going to the ring, I was like, "This is exactly why I don't like these fucking bitches." Like,
Yeah. Um, and we get her bonsai drop. And which they just need to call it what the fuck it is. I hate the Annihilator. It's like, that's a fucking bonsai drop, okay?
It is. I mean, that's what they do. They take moves and just change the name for the person. We know, but stop.
Yeah, like,
There's no reason to call it anything different.
if
I sent
if
you
anything, it would be
Instagram,
an homage to Yokozuna calling it the bonsai drop.
and that's why in my head I hear that. But it might be that getting old thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
I sent you the link to the Instagram for Naomi, so you can see what I was talking about.
Okay. I'll look at that after this one. But I lost my place. Yeah. But from there, we get a Jacob Fatu Solo Sokoa LA Knight Drew McIntyre promo.
Wait, did we give that a Did we give that a number? Correct?
Oh, the
Number?
match. Oh, yeah. I gave the match a 6.5.
I gave 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it only got that much because of Jay's outfit. I'm just gonna be real. If it wasn't for that, it would got 0. Now let's continue on.
Yeah, and yeah, this next segment there's a lot to it. Solo says show love and respect for Jacob Fatu, and
Mm-hmm.
how he already knew he was the future of the company, and that they told him he was trouble and too much of a risk, but Solo brought him in anyways. And finally Jacob, goes, let's not get it twisted. And he said he would win the U.S. title with or without Solo. And
The way he grabbed that mic was classic.
he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love his whole persona and presence. It does a lot for the character.
Yep. And now he's America's Most Wanted. He's the menace to society.
Yeah.
And you got to get in where you fit in. Yada me. Ah, just God.
That's so dumb. That is so dumb. I hope that ends soon, but whatever. I've seen stupider from
I love it.
WWE.
I love it. He's old school with just enough mix of new school for me. With that kind of shit. And then LA Knight has entered the chat.
Yes, he has.
And he said, you ate a BFT big fat with that big fat mouth head. And that he gives him credit where credit is due. That he wants a rematch. And then Drew McIntyre enters the chat. And Drew's got big guns like Texas. And he's gotten screwed over, but he still won against Damian. And that really he feels that with everybody like coming up, it's the Nepo Wrestling Entertainment, and says hi.
I love that. That's what I love it so much.
It says hi to the bloodline. But then we get the great character breaking. Like this is where these two just fucking shine. Because LA Knight goes, "You done yet?" And
Yeah.
and then Drew says he's been watching LA Knight become a punk, and that he just wants Jacob. And LA Knight goes, "Blah blah blah. Wake me up when this mushroom mouth is done." And Drew says, "Always with the jokes like your last title reign." And LA Knight goes, "That's funny because nobody remembers yours."
We don't though.
And that if he's got a problem with Orton, that he needs to take it up with Orton. And then Nick Aldis comes out and makes it a number 1 contender match: LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre there. Yep, and after that, which I didn't grade that spot, but it was a really good spot. So in retrospect, I'm gonna give it an 8.
No, 8. I was about to say 8.
Yep.
It was really good. I think it deserved an 8. It was really entertaining. It was humorous. And I just like stuff like that. Like, a lot of stuff they have sucks.
Yeah. They know how to keep it good with those guys.
They are. They're doing a very good job.
Next we get Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green for the U.S. title match. A great fast-paced start to this match. Then we get a big drop kick to the outside, and then the Hervis does a little bit of attacks, and then it goes to an ad break. When we come back, they must have been well into the match at that point, but we get a German suplex from Vega, and then Meteora from the middle of the rope kick out, and then there's backbreaker, and then the Hervis start interfering and trying to interfere, and they get kicked out. And in the midst of the kick out, Zelina delivers a code red, and she is now the women's U.S. champion.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that bad of a match, actually.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.
Yeah. I gave 6.5. I just using the same storyline over and over and over is obviously it's not 1997. Have a little variety,
Yeah.
and that's my only problem with them, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. And I guess according to Instagram, there, Chelsea Green gave her farewell speech, and she won't be around for a while. So I guess she's going to be taking a little time off.
Oh, you're checking the internet? Yay! We're growing up.
Yeah. So yeah.
But
I thought good match, and happy for Zelina Vega there. That's
yeah,
her first. That's her first ever title.
I want to see more Selena Vega. We talked about this in the last one we did, or one for that, whatever. Last time we talked about her, but yeah, it's good to see that she's moving right along. I hope she keeps up the momentum, and I hope they keep giving her more opportunities within the company because she seems like she's a really hard worker and she's down for everything. So let's see how far I gotta take it.
Yeah, they just need to pair her up with the right opponents.
Mm-hmm. And not the man because she manhandling her partner.
Yeah. Yep. Next we get Carmelo Hayes and the Miz little promo, and Miz got Carmelo a gaudy Andre the Giant necklace. And Carmelo Hayes says that he's now the 10th wonder of the world, which I thought I was like, okay, like that's because Andre was the 8th wonder, China was the 9th wonder, and if he wants to call himself the 10th wonder of the world, okay, prove it then, buddy. And then Miz talks about then he's got to go out and do his stuff, and he goes out there and he talks about how he got snubbed at WrestleMania, in that Randy Orton match, and that Rey Mysterio failed him, and that Joe Hendry's an internet meme, and then Mr. Aleister Black comes out and fucks him up real quick.
Yeah, I titled this "Black is Back" because who cares about the Miz? Every time he talks, I'm just like, I want to change my TV a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was all about Black to me.
They messed up. They messed up things with the Miz when he betrayed R-Truth. I mean, for the first time in that man's career, he was finally getting cheered, and he could finally be a babyface, and that would have been good for him. They would have been good for his career. It would have been nice to
And
have a veteran babyface.
I haven't liked the Miz since they gave him a TV show, though. So
Yeah,
I hate him. By the time he did that, I was just like, fuck him, anyways.
yeah, fair enough. But I gave the spot a 4. Um,
Ugh. It should have just been Aleister Black coming back. If they just made it surrounding him and like launched a good, strong storyline around him, it would have been a lot better promo.
yeah,
But I agree with you. It should be 4. In fact, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. They're lucky it's not a 1. They only got anything because of Aleister, but it wasn't enough him. It wasn't enough. I don't like the Miz.
yep, fair enough. Next up we get a Bianca Belair promo. To where she just kind of talks about where she's at and what's going on. And I gave it a 5. I took no notes.
I don't even have that in here. So you're like Bianca Belair promo. I'm like LA Knight and Drew McIntyre.
But yeah, I kind of write down every spot because there's that, and
I
then
did.
there's a little Nia Jackson countering Naomi, and they talk shit at each other.
Hmm.
Um, and I make note just saying, take these bitches away.
I went from Black is Back to LA Knight and Drew McIntyre.
Which that's what's up next.
Yeah, because like with it just neither of them are memorable to me. There's no reason to write it down. If no reason to be memorable. I do speak English,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I just want to get straight to LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. I have no opinions about any of those things.
Yep.
They weren't even worth writing about. So
Yeah, so we get LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. Big ass truck coming through. We get a pretty boyish start to the match, and then a nice back elbow with the slam kick out, and then the fighting goes to the outside, and we get big shoulder thrust, and then we get a brainbuster with kick out, and then we get this crazy kick to the midsection with kick out, and Drew continues to beat down on LA Knight, and then LA Knight comes out with his suplex. And then he starts to come back to neck breaker, and then there's a kick out. They start to trade some blows, and then he gets a Glasgow kiss out with a roll up, and then a kick out. And then LA Knight pulls out his leaping elbow. There's a kick out from there. And we get the mid rope drop kick, and he starts doing his slams on the table. And then Solo Sikoa comes out and spikes LA Knight. And then as that goes on, Damian Priest comes out and attacks Drew. And gives him a choke slam to the desk. And then Jacob Fatu comes out with suicide dive and then delivers off some mighty moonsaults there.
I mean, yeah.
Yep. But the match itself, because it had this interruption and stuff, I don't think that they were really able to get off too much. But I gave it a 6 for what they did do.
I actually gave it 7.5. I like the way they mixed it up. I like bringing out the extra people. I hope because they're gonna hopefully what I'm hoping is they bring the stack to Backlash and make it like awesome storyline. So that's what I was thinking as I watched it. That's why it got to a high point for me. Um, and also at least CM Punk wasn't out there.
Right?
I take what you can get.
Yep. Next, we get a quick little R-Truth spot where he talks to John Cena and says he wants to grow up and be a champion like John Cena.
I
I gave it a 7.
Yeah, only thing I wrote was R-Truth is truly the best moron in mass wrestling. 8.
He always will be.
I
Nobody can beat
mean,
him.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Not something to aspire towards. Like this.
Yeah, how could
I wish.
yeah, I want my character to be dumber than our truth.
Imagine. Ooh, that's
Well, I
true.
guess
That hurt.
they've had that. What was the dude with the crazy curly hair? He said that he was Russian, but he was retarded. I forget.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't know. Eugene.
Oh yeah, Eugene. I was thinking Eugene, but
Yeah, Eugene. I'd say he's
we're not
the
doing it, are we?
yeah.
It's already going to a place we can't come back. Let's just finish it.
Yeah.
Woo.
Going deep down the dumb rabbit hole.
Next, we talking about the blue meanie, and it just it'll never
Oh,
end. Let's keep going.
ooh,
So let's finish this.
some BWO. Um,
Um,
for the main event, we get DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profit in a TLC tag team title match.
how the fuck do these people keep ending up one as main events and two in three-way tag teams? Like we don't see what you're doing. Please stop it. We don't like any of them. Please stop it.
Well, luckily the match is good.
All right,
Yeah,
but it was alright for people who I don't care about.
that's true. Also, Champa looks like a shitty monk without his beard.
Yeah, it was,
Um,
it was not. It was
and
not.
but I love the Shawn Michaels top that somebody had on. Montez had on. Montez had on like a Shawn Michaels top. It was great. But yeah, we get baseball slide to the ladder. We get some corner punches. Get the crisscross attacks, and then some chair attacks. Dawkins steamrolls DIY. Get attacks leg and ladder, and then a good ladder push. We get a tree of woe stomp, and then basement drop kicks to the chair. Get a missile drop kick to the chair, and then the sliding ladder hit. That was pretty cool. We get an amazing senton from Montez, and then a flatliner from the top. Then a silencer from the ladder. Ciampa chair attacks, and then Johnny Gargano hits a chair with a chair. Um, then we get slams on chair tops. Then we get the running Doomsday blockbuster. And then we get the fake leg from, I'm assuming, a fan. Remember, there was a fake leg in that match?
I I it was a little confusing, but I was like, at least they're mixing it up because I don't like any of these tag teams.
Yeah,
So
I'm assuming
it
that
really
fake
helped me.
leg was from a fan because I'm pretty sure Dawkins handed it back into the crowd.
I wasn't paying attention to the leg at all, actually.
Yeah. Um, but that just ups it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely did up it.
Yeah. And then we get a splash through the table from Chris Sabian. Then we get a senton from Montez through the tables. Then we get white noise going through the ladder. Then we get a skull and bones through the tables. And then Ciampa is hanging from the belts, and Dawkins spears him through the table. Then Johnny, throws a chair, which looked painful.
It did actually look really painful, but also fun.
Yep. And then
Not
get
you know.
and then a super kick in the ladder, and then there's a three-way fight at the top of the ladder, and then Montez finishes it. And that is the first ladder match for the tag team titles in 5 years.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, but what a good one! What a good one! This was a match that instead of New Day and War Raiders, I would have much rather seen this match.
Very much so.
Um,
Very much so.
but
And they could
I gave it an
have.
8.
I gave it a 9, actually.
Right on.
That's funny because I still don't like any of those tag teams. I still would rather have it be anybody else, but it was a great match, and I can't deny that. So,
Absolutely. Um,
yep.
and I'm just glad to see the Street Profits like having a good tag title run because they hadn't had those tag titles in almost 4 years, which is crazy. But that wraps it up for Friday Night Smackdown, April 25th. Like, share, subscribe, folks. Any
Mhm.
little bit helps us. Leave some comments behind if you want. We will read them.
And add us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And yay, Spirit Fingers.
And huzzah, we got another episode down. We got a couple more coming up for you, though, so stay tuned, though, folks.
Peace out. Stop.